Is it visible at your end?
Yeah, it's visible here.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I came on board late. I don't know if there are protocols to observe. Let me just say all protocols duly observed. Good afternoon, everybody. The topic we are considering from economic angle is crop innovations contribution to COVID-19 food security and nutritional challenges. I think I will take far less time than Professor Shaku because some of our preliminaries has been covered by him, and since the works are complementary, we will just see it as such. Looking at the roles of cowpea, he has covered. Only to note that for areas that are adaptable to cowpea, 6 out of 10 or 2 out of 3 households grow the crop. I will just leave that section to go to cowpea constraints. He has also mentioned the pod borer insect, which is Maruca vitrata, as being responsible for 90%. We have done some literature and found that the 90%. Okay. I don't know since when you didn't hear, but I just want to repeat that.
Just continue, don't repeat anything.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I was trying to say the latest statement was that despite the fact that Nigeria is the largest producer of cowpea, like Professor Ishaku alluded to, Nigeria still imports 20% of its national annual consumption. In fact, we have a figure there that says that close to 500 metric tons is normally imported by Nigeria, mainly from neighboring countries, to be able to meet its needs. Okay, now the upper information there is just to show that Sample 20 is able to take care of itself, which we have had elaborately from Professor Shaku. But now let us go to some other dimensions that are a little bit of economics. If you are talking of the rural sector, agriculture employs 60 to 70%. That is fairly standard and historical. But if you are talking of the entire economy, agriculture accounts for just 37% of the labor force employment. What we are hoping for is that if there could be large adoption of the new variety with the yield already projected by the work of Professor Shaku and Co., there will be larger output, nationally speaking. And if there's larger output, we are expecting the entire value chain to be busy, from input procurement to output marketing to export. Nigeria might even reverse what is happening now. Instead of importing, we are expected to be exporting. So the entire value chain will be very, very busy. And if that is the case, the import dependency for cowpea and other food items will reduce. And of course, there will be larger access to plant-based protein. Now, the next shows, if we listen to Professor Shaku very well, he gave some projected economic analysis that is looking at it at the plot level, at the farmer's level. What we have done to complement what he has done is to look at it at the national level. The figures we have here are called what we might call economy-wide projections. The first indication we have there is that if we simply look at the value of cowpea that is produced on an annual basis, and we do not factor in cost of production, Nigeria's annual cowpea production, believe it or not, is about 405 billion naira. This might be difficult to absorb because we are talking of smallholders. But if you look at it across all the farmers that are producing, Nigeria on an annual basis without factoring in cost of production is valued 405 billion naira. Now, the second information there is trying to factor in cost of production, cost of research, and everything. And by the time you factor in cost of research, cost of production, Nigeria within the next 6 years of commercializing cowpea, we expect the country to rake in on net basis 162 billion naira. This is, you can see this is lower because we've already factored in all the cost of research and all the cost of on-farm production and the rest of it. So within the, and there's a caveat that says this is realizable only if the new variety was released in 2019. We are putting the caveat, but also note in the next line that Nigeria, that was mentioned by Professor Shaku, had already graciously released the variety on December 12, 2019. And one other information we are giving here is if you factor in, that's another way to look at line 2 there. If you factor in all the research costs, all the offer production, we are saying that for every naira invested in producing the sample 20, Nigeria stands to gain 71 naira. And we dare say that if this is realizable, then agriculture is on the way, at least aspect of it, to being listed on the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Now, the next slide is trying to look at what we have done agroecologically. Please note, we are saying agroecologically because science and agroecology are in tandem. But science and geopolitics are not in tandem. So we are doing it agroecologically so that we can agree with science. And we are saying that on an annual basis, the net benefits from adoption of PBR cowpea is about 12.7 billion naira. And we have disaggregated these, we have accounted for this agroecologically. The smallest annual gain is in the forest and the ripe savanna, where the net gain is 1.27 billion naira, followed by the Guinea savanna, 2.7 billion naira, and the Sudan and Sahel savanna, 8.64 billion naira. If you add them together, they all sum to the upper figure that we gave. So we are saying that it's gain, gain, gain if the adoption of PBR cowpea, which is scientifically called sample 20, can be embraced. The only thing we are hoping for, which is off script, is that we are hoping the country will be able to meet up with the seed requirement, because there can be no adoption unless the seeds are there. And like was alluded to by Professor Shaku, they are the multiplication stage. If the seeds can come in the right quality and quantity, we are hoping some of the predictions here can be realized. But as we can see, it's gain, gain, gain from the newly produced variety. Thank you very much.